What's going on, Virgo? This is Cosmic Boogeyman. I'm gonna do a timeline read for you right here. So I'm gonna see what I can get out of my cards. I got a double tarot deck, and I like to do a 21 card base read. It has four cards in the corners, and that's what I use as my cornerstones. Um, Typically when I do this read, I'm very intuitive with my readings, and I like to get some jumpers. But my first cards, as I was gonna say, is this first card here is my cornerstones, and that tells us like kind of what's going on. So either you're having a tough work situation, or you're out of work, and that could kind of tell me what's going on. And if that's the case, hey, I'm sorry. Um, or yeah, or if basically, or you're about to turn things around, because at ground zero, if you're out of work, you're about to get some major news. Like that's what's happening here. And I'll tell you right now, Virgo, this is not the first time I've had this kind of read, but I usually read like whatever comes out, just so you have an idea. Um, and if you just have to kind of change your mindset if that makes sense, Virgo. So what I'm going to do is kind of just fire off the rest of my cards just so we can get the read going. But I'll tell you, I'm really curious to see what we get here, Virgo, because it's almost like there's been an injustice or an injustice going on, and that's where you get your peace of mind. So, what I want to do here is I'm just curious to see. I feel like you're ending a communication with somebody also. That card right there is a very important card. That's where the tower moment comes in for you or somebody else. So, let's see what else we get. Long-term community commitment, happiness. And see, that's growing money. I'm telling you, I have a feeling right here. You're going to get some kind of job offer. But whatever this chariot is, this could actually be about driving something. Sneaky. Let's see. Job. See, I'm telling you, that's the beginning of a conduit. That's a life message. You're fighting with somebody, or somebody's fighting with you. Manifestation, or you're fighting a manifestation, which would even be crazier. This is pretty interesting. So, just so you have an idea, I'm pulling from the middle of the deck, even with a shuffle. You can even watch me. All right. This is a pretty cool read. All right, so let's do this, Virgo. So very quickly at first glance here, this is a tower moment, or you're gonna have a tower moment, not about work. There's a sneakiness going on that had to do with a communication, or this is almost like a commitment that you feel that there's a sneakiness going on with a permanent communication or someone's communications that's been going on with you for a while. Like this could be a spouse almost. But I feel like there's a tower moment going on, and this couldn't mean like necessarily like divorce, but you feel as though something's happening in your life that's changing your communication style or pattern. That could be, and it could be something good, to be quite honest. A tower moment with something like this would tell me that maybe, hey, uh, I'm going to stop being so sneaky with the way I'm talking to someone and come out and be more honest. There's intuition that goes along in line with this, but you're working on something, not being sneaky, and your intuition's coming in. But at the center here, this tells me this is like you're driving something, like actually driving, physically making happiness, driving happiness. So there's an injustice that's been going on for a while, and you haven't been able to make money and your intuition's been kind of off. But when you get the sun coming up, even this card being in reverse, it's actually not a bad thing. You're coming out of the cold, and the sun's coming up, and it's still coming up, and it's going to be in reverse. Anytime I see the sun, it doesn't matter if it's in reverse. The sun's always a good card. Think about when you see it, even in the winter. The sun's a good card. You see it, in the middle of the July. It's not a great card because it'll burn you, but you still love it. But when you see it with this card, there's actually a sticker on here, and I never really figured out how it's getting there. But it literally has a UV 400 protection sticker on there. It's next to the sun card, just so you have an idea. And next to that, they're being blocked. So whatever's going on here, this card's actually protected. I know it sounds bananas, it's crazy, but you gotta just follow my intuition here. Anyway, so this card here, this card's about, let's call it polygamy. So basically there's a lot of people having a lot of good fun, group fun. That's kind of what's happened here. And this card here is throwing some really crazy shade at it, if you get my drift. So people are throwing shade at this, and that's what's been going on here, and that's why there's an intuition situation going on. People have been out in the cold, and that's what's happening where there's a fight going on. And I would have to tell you, if I was reading for the collective, Virgo, I would tell you outright that there's this offer or no new offers has to go back to this brand new job that's coming in, and that's where this unhappiness and this almost like this disconnect has been happening for a while. That's where you've been fighting this brand new manifestation that you're about to trigger. I know it sounds bananas, but I'm going to keep going. This is where the offer comes in from the divine, where you're going to get connected. You're going to get connected not only to what you would realize as money, but what's called abundance. Abundance is going to connect you to the divine. That's where your manifestation comes in. It doesn't matter what you're trying to offer, but winning at all costs is going to actually cost you. That's where your sneakiness comes in. You have to be almost you have to have some forethought to what you're doing here if you understand my drift, okay? You can't just win. You have to win with purpose. So when you're winning with cups, you're not winning with swords, okay? You're winning with abundance. If I'm helping myself, I'm helping those around me. And they're not just words, they're actually actions. So if I give you a pentacle to grow, you have to grow into complete abundance. So you're trying to help those around you. So what I see for you here, Virgo, is the universe is about to give you a job, potentially a job driving, potentially a job controlling something. I would even say making good money, but you're almost, I would say, honestly, driving. It's like it's really hard not to say this, but this injustice that you've been going through, where feel like you haven't been able to make ends meet, is going to end, and you're going to be able to make money. But understand, when you get this gift from the universe, you have two paths to make. If you choose the path of abundance, you'll grow more. Was what I'm getting. You have to trust me. You can't be sneaky about it. This gift that you're being given by the universe of this new job is going to help you. So you're going to get less by the universe on purpose because it wants you to feel as though you're not going to make enough at first. But you're going to be the empress that you've always wanted to be, or the emperor, but more likely the empress. You're about to be gifted this because it wants you to feel empowered, like you are doing what you actually have been meant to do. This is the justice to your injustice. So I feel like whatever you've been going through is going to end almost suddenly, very, very soon. So for me, if I were to guess, I would say within the next 2 to 3 months, but I would even say probably even sooner than that. And this is for most of you Virgos, which is very amazing to me. If you just look deep in this, and I know it's hard because your intuition's been turned off, and this is why most of you are on here watching tarot, right? And you catch yourself in this loop. But what I'm going to tell you is, as an Aquarian male, I can tell you, whatever this polygamy situation is, or this multi situation, or people like are involved or connecting to, that situation has the sneakiness that you feel, or this connection, the throwing shade at it, whatever's been happening, this air sign that you're connecting to, that sneakiness that you feel, their intuition is right. That intuition, that whatever's been going on is right for them. You don't try to interpret that. Their intuition has been right. Okay. You have to move on from the situation if you want to end the connection, or basically reconnect with the person that you've been talking to. This tower moment, this life ending situation, or this basically this I would say this connection you've been going through with this person, you want to basically move on from. You're not seeing the entire picture, is from what I'm getting. You're not actually seeing what you want to see, because all you're seeing is a situation with this polygamy about passion, which is not about passion. It's not. You think it is. So you're only going at it from one perspective. Is life about one perspective? It is not. Life is about many perspectives. So take yourself and put it into this other person's perspective, put it into these other people's perspective, and then bring yourself back. If it's not about that, ask yourself if it's about a bunch of people fighting. And that could be the situation too. But you shouldn't throw shade at anything or get yourself involved with people throwing shade at anything because you might not know the entire situation and get the perspective. And that's where the sneakiness comes in, is because you think you know the whole picture or you think they know the whole picture. I know, Virgo, it's hard to do and it's very hard to kind of get involved like that, but you're not going to win the battle that you think you're going to win, because this is also based on a past life situation, and you really have to understand me on this. So the tower moment that you're trying to control, or you're trying to end, or you're trying to make it so these people aren't like losing their house, or going through this house that was on fire, or whatever that is that you're trying to help them with, it's not that they shouldn't have that happen, it's that they should understand what it feels like to rebuild. Like the universe wants them to rebuild their life. That some of them may have to basically, they're finding their partner out of this. Their Aquarian partner. Like they're finding the person that they've always been looking for, but if they didn't have that house burn, you wouldn't get this job. They wouldn't basically move on and find their love partner, their twin flame. So I think that's what we're missing, or they might not find their person. So Virgo, I think maybe that's what's going to happen, is maybe, or maybe they might not find their twin that they've been looking for or something. I think those are the things that we miss out on. And the universe is saying, hey, maybe you won't be the empress that you've always been looking for. You won't find your person you've always been looking for. You won't raise to that occasion, but I think you're definitely going to do it. The universe is saying you are going to go and raise to the occasion. This is the justice that you've been waiting for. You've already made this choice. This has been happening. You're gonna feel breadcrumbed. You're gonna feel like something's not right at first, but you have to hold strong, because if you don't, it won't work. So just realize this opportunity that's being offered to you, it's real. This is definitely real. You're not being tricked. No one's no one's messing with you. It's just a weird feeling right now because the universe is testing you. But that love feeling, that deep down feeling that you're getting, it could be just even like wow, I'm actually making progress. I'm making headway. It's real because you want it to be real. That's the way you actually manifest. So I'm going to pull a couple cards here, but you're actually doing very well. You have a couple choices here. You can go with love. You can go with finding a new partner to communicate with. You can basically say, hey, I want to meet someone brand new. I want to make some money. But I have a feeling you're just going to hold pat and just wait and wait for the best choice is what's going to happen. But I really want you to wait for that person that's going to connect with you. But you realize that you have the option of making an offer whenever you're ready. You have the option of finding the person that matches with you, or you have that person could be a millionaire. But not all bad things that happen, they don't always have to happen, for a bad reason. And I think what's happening is you're going through people fighting, you're going through these tower moments where people are going through house fires, but you're also going through your own situation where you're raising your own vibration, where you're sitting there going, say, hey, I'll go get recertified. I'll go do this. I'll get myself driving again, or I'll get myself into a situation where I can kind of support other people somehow. Whatever you're doing it to help other people, and that's what's important. Let's pull one more card, okay? We're gonna pull one more card from my it was my training deck that I had used, but I'm gonna pull one more card, and what it is it gets us kind of like a direct message, and you'll see what I'm saying, from the universe directly to you, Virgo. Okay, we'll pull I guess two cards. All right, so your clear communication expresses what's best for all. So like, don't sugarcoat it. Sometimes you have to just tell people what it is, right? And this is for a Queen of Swords. It's the water, so it's a water card and it's a air sign. All right, and we got stability, form, foundations, completeness. And then the other card that came out was forced gaiety, inflexibility, chaos, imbalance, overwhelmed, disorganized. So duality, union, balance, love, settling for energy, or settling of energy. So, and this is a Capricorn here. So we did have Capricorn energy. So we definitely had some Capricorn energy. Anyway, but the point I think I would take from these messages is obviously, like, there's chaos in your life, there's fighting. We have the chaos and fighting here. Um, the imbalance. But the throwing shade and stuff, I think that's the other thing is like, and I don't know who this other person is. So maybe they're saying that this is actually a Queen of Swords. This is a female air sign. Maybe that's kind of the correction here. So maybe this is a female that's causing problems in your life, and that could be too, because they're really reiterating that part here. Because I had pulled the Queen of Swords right on top of the King of Swords, and that's what's being hidden. So there could be one of those things happening here. So whatever it is, Virgo, you're definitely trying to navigate a really tough situation with family, is what I'm getting, or friends. So I definitely commend you. You be safe.